And the Maryland Public Service Commission is considering a controversial transmission line project, working to set a schedule for the project.
So it's a fairly important decision we have to make, and we just need to take the time to make the right decision.
This follows a judge's ruling allowing developers access to people's private property for land surveys. Fox 45's Jessica Babb joins us live in studio, breaking down what happens next. Jessica?
Well, Kai, with this project, there are several things all happening at the same time. While parts of this project are being litigated in court, the Public Service Commission, which is in charge of deciding if this project even gets built in the first place, is also starting to work its way through the lengthy approval process. The developers are trying to get this done quickly, but I spoke with the chair of the PSC today, who says their consideration process will take as long as it needs. Following this fiery meeting earlier in June.
Welcome to the Maryland Public Service Commission's hearing,
Where the developers of the controversial transmission line were grilled with questions.
This is driven by the very severe and widespread violations that are projected to occur in 2027.
Now, Mr. Curran, I understand that that's what you said, but there didn't seem to be a lot of urgency.
Now, the Maryland Public Service Commission is issuing this order as the commissioners consider the 67-mile high-voltage line.
We've only sort of initiated a process for having our staff discuss with the other parties setting the schedule. So
PSC Chair Fred Hoover says they're now working to try and set dates for when evidence will be presented and hearings will happen.
We're trying to start the examination of the project. I mean, obviously, there are two questions we have to answer. One, should this transmission line be built at all, which is one issue. And then the second issue is, if it's going to be built, where is it going to be built?
But there's been a lot of debate leading up to this point. A state agency known as the Power Plant Research Program argued the developers of the transmission line submitted an incomplete application with the PSC, saying it was missing critical information. So now the developers have 30 days to provide that info.
The applicant told us that they had looked at 10 different possible routes and had selected one of those as the best one. But they did not in the application explain why the other routes were not selected.
Field studies were also missing.
Field level surveys are required.
Something that's been a major point of contention, with residents refusing to let the developers on their land.
Why should Marylanders have to give up their private property to enrich a New Jersey utility to further enrich data centers in Virginia? And we say no.
But late last week, a federal judge ruled that the developers can, in fact, enter people's private property to do those surveys, a decision that's now being appealed.
The landowners may feel that they're aiding and abetting the company in promoting this line. These field studies are actually a very important piece of the process in order for this commission to make the correct decision, because we're dependent upon the recommendations from the state agencies of what the environmental impact would be if this line is built on any particular proposed route that's looked at.
Right now, the developers are pushing an aggressive timeline, trying to get this project up and running by 2027, saying brownouts and blackouts will be imminent if it doesn't happen. And while that fact is being debated,
is it likely that the PSC will expedite this case?
No.
Hoover says they aren't rushing this process.
The process is going to take however long the process takes, and we will reach a decision at the end of that process, but we aren't going to set an artificial deadline. It's a complicated decision. It affects a lot of people. We just need to take the time to make the right decision.
As of right now, it's not clear when those field studies will start happening. And for residents, there will be opportunities moving forward to talk with the commissioners and share thoughts on the project. So far, dates for those hearings haven't been announced. In the studio, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.